The next one is accountability. As a parent, you cannot raise your child without being aware of accountability. Always ask your child why. Why did you do this? Why should you do this? And try to hear them, listen to them, because their rationale may be a bit different from how you saw that particular thing. You know, time has passed where you say we see children, but we don't hear them. No, now we hear children, we see children, we understand children, we listen to children, but you must hold them accountable. A lot of parents don't hold their children accountable. If Johnny slaps Mary, don't just punish him. Punish him, but ask him questions. Interact with him. Why did you do that? Next time when this happens, what would you do? That's accountability. The reason why this is okay is that the person will know that they cannot walk away after they've done something wrong, because it's not realistic. It's not how life is. The truth of the matter is that some adults, let me not say most, some adults who have been raised with low level of accountability make very horrible relationship. When I mean relationship, whether it's friendship, they are horrible because they will hurt people. They won't look back. It also makes people lack empathy, because accountability makes you reflect on your conduct. So it's very important. Tip number 9, teach love and kindness. They are not automatic. You teach love and kindness. How do you teach love and kindness? By modeling it. If you tell somebody you love them, show it. Your child should be able to interpret love from the actions around them. And also point out things that are unloving and unkind, and let them know why they should stay away from such things. Also, as your children are getting older, let them know that not everybody is capable of love the way you taught them about love. And not everybody is capable of showing kindness. You also engage your children on the idea, how do you deal with a situation where you have to interact with somebody who is not showing love or kindness, or even politeness. You have to help your children walk through that. So you teach love and kindness. The 10th one, we need to raise girls that encourage strength and vulnerability in others. And the 11th one, I'm going to go back to 10, where I want to join with 11. Raise boys that are kind, supportive, and emotionally available. The problem we have now is that we make girls think that men are strong, so they don't need support. You shouldn't allow them to be vulnerable. In fact, we communicate to our girls that if a boy is vulnerable, that he's weak. And we communicate that to boys. Boys don't cry. You're a boy. Why should you do this? And what ends up happening is you have people who have they are mentally ill. They have mental disorders. They're emotionally unstable, because every human being needs emotional outlet. I don't care how strong you think you are. So there must be somebody that you feel comfortable being vulnerable with. Some people say, what is vulnerability? Vulnerability is the nakedness, emotional nakedness, spiritual nakedness, that you're removing those things that we cover up. Either laughter, humor, all those things we use to cover up our pain. That is what it means to be vulnerable. So why I say raise your girls is, for instance, if you raise your girls to encourage strength and vulnerability, is almost conflictual. But your girls will now learn the balance, and they will also manage their expectations in their relationships. Boys need to be kind, supportive, and emotionally available. We should not raise boys with the focus. Literally, I run into parents, their own focus of their boys is make sure you make money and you don't go to jail. Like everything in between is permissible. No. You should be raising kind, supportive, and emotionally available boys, because one day they'll be somebody's parent, they'll be somebody's husband. So you need to start raising your children to be that way. And when I have my workshops, I go in depth about how to actually raise boys, because I think society doesn't pay attention to how boys are raised. And later on in life, we start complaining about how our men are. It is easier to raise good boys than it is to correct bad men. Badly behaved men are very difficult to correct, but naughty boys can be corrected when they're children. 12, watch your words and action around your children. Watch your words and action around your children. It pains me when I hear parents cursing their children or saying negative things about your children, because it's actually a reflection of yourself. So watch what you say, watch your tone with your children. Well, if you need to be calm and gentle, so when you're upset, you can be firm and stern. They will know the difference. But imagine if you're yelling all the time. Your yelling is no longer an effective tool because it's overdone. It's excessive. So please watch it. And managing your emotion is part of what will help you with that. Number 13, forgive your own parents is a parenting tip. Please, at some point, you have to take responsibility for how you are. You can't keep blaming your parents all of your life. So at some point, you forgive them. I've said it in another podcast. Our parents did what they knew how. In fact, they did the best they knew how. No matter how bad it is, it's the best they knew how. And so if you accept that fact, you heal from it and you forgive them, let it go. Because if you don't forgive them, you carry that hurt into the lives of your children. So parenting tip number 13, forgive your own parents. So tip number 14, heal your own childhood trauma. Most adults who are traumatized in childhood bring it to their adulthood and it affects their parenting. So my advice is you try to heal from that. Some traumas are extreme. Sexual abuse, sexual molestation. Some are milder. The way you were talked to as a child, the things you saw as a child, they traumatize you and you have trauma reactions to that. If you bring it into parenthood, it will affect the way you parent. The most common manifestation of that is anxiety. Parents with trauma are anxious, and their anxiety could come off as anger. They are angry all the time at their children. It could come off as resentment. Some trauma responses come off as silence. They are permissive. For instance, children who grew up with very strict parents, very wicked type of spacing, they want to overcompensate. So they don't want to have any boundaries or even establish any rules because they've not healed. If they've healed, they will know the difference between both extremes. So you need to heal from your trauma. How do you start the healing process? Identifying the traumas first, accepting that you went through it, cutting the umbilical cord, that even though you went through it, that doesn't mean that's who you are. So when that happens, I would advise you should try to look for a counselor, try to look for a therapist, a psychologist, somebody that knows how to deal with childhood trauma, because it's a specialized field in counseling. 15, don't impose your perfectionistic ways on your children. Teach your children to work on their efforts with strategy and wisdom. Doesn't mean, hard work pays, but beyond hard work, teach your children how to also be strategic, think things through. So that way, as they grow up, they learn to be strategic people. The reason why I say don't impose your perfection on your children is it's easy to have children and maybe the child comes home with 7 A's and 1 D. And that's all you talk about. 1 D. How could you have gotten 1 D? The ones that got all 8 A's, do they have 2 heads? Blah, blah. Please, stop it. It's not healthy. Tell your child, let your child do their own self-assessment. Say, good job, you got 7 A's. This D, how do you feel about it? You'll be surprised. Your child will tell you how they feel. And then you strategize with them how to improve on it. Number 16 is do not compare your child to other children, including their siblings. Parents are responsible for sibling rivalry and sibling hatred and sibling competition. Oh, don't you see how your brother Johnny is doing? Why can't you be more like your sister Mary? They are 2 different kids. Compare them with their yesterday. Compare them with their expectations, their goals, where they are trying to get to. But don't compare them with their siblings, please. It makes for a very unhealthy childhood, and it creates a lot of hatred and tension between siblings. Number 17, grit is important. What is grit? The ability to see something through, regardless of the obstacles or challenges. Grit is important. You teach your children grit, Grit. Let them complete things, from making their bed in the morning to finishing their chores to walking through a very difficult homework assignment is important. The opposite of grit is quitting. If you notice your child is quitting, it's because they lack self-confidence. You help them build their self-confidence, because grit is far more important than good grades, I tell you. That's why C students employ A students. If a C student has grit, he will survive and be successful in life. If an A student lacks self-confidence and quits all the time because they are so perfectionistic, they won't go far. So please, allow your children to have grit. It's okay when things are challenging. Give them the support they need to finish it up. 17, spirituality, healthy lifestyle, financial literacy, work ethics can be taught. Teach them. If you don't have it, find a place where they can go and learn. You must not limit your children to just what you know. The world is so much bigger and so much smaller. Technology is helping so many things. Allow your children to learn things that even you don't know. Mistrust, shame, doubt, inferiority complex are all imbibed in childhood. We teach our children how to mistrust. We teach them shame, doubt, inferiority complex by the way we communicate with them, by the way we talk to them. We talk down on our children. We ignore their cries for help. All these things culminate. Look, if you come to my intentional parenting workshop, you'll be able to get more details about this, about how to prevent teaching mistrust, shame, doubt, and inferiority complex. And the last one, I think this is the last one. It says, don't punish in anger, but instead punish armed with intentionality and wisdom. Every parent should punish with intentionality and wisdom. If you punish in anger, you won't get the results you need. And that's all the tips. I know it's a long one. I know it's a 2-part series. That's because this opportunity with the letter that was written, I hope I have done it justice, Lillian. I hope I did a good job. I hope this was what you expected. Please like, share, and subscribe to Dear Ijay on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Remember, be healthy, be happy, and keep it positive. Until next time, that's it from me. Thank you very much.